Hello, I thought I would take a moment to just share a little bit with you today. I was reading this morning in My Utmost Force Highest, one of my favorite devotionals. Now, it is my favorite devotional of all time that I've ever read. Not that I've read a library of devotionals, but nevertheless, was reading in today's section here. He says, the continual inner searching we do in an effort to see if we are what we ought to be generates a self-centered, sickly type of Christianity, not the vigorous and simple life of a child of God. Our culture is such in that our culture tells you to search within. Search within to find who you truly are. Look deep inside yourself. I don't really agree with that. We need to look outside of ourselves to find out who we truly are. The great thing is God has provided us His scriptures that tell us who we are. They tell me many different things, how I should behave. Sorry for the wind picking up. They tell me how I should behave, what I should be thinking or setting my thoughts on. They tell me how I ought to be acting, reacting. They tell me who I am. The scriptures paint a very clear picture of who I am in God's eyes, who I am to Him, my identity in Him. And so really the reality is I have to go outside of myself. And true, continual inner searching, it's not necessarily something to spend too much time on. Yes, it's great to search your heart, to understand your thoughts and why you're thinking what you're thinking and so forth. But by all means, transformation comes when we think outside of ourselves and we permit His written word and through His Holy Spirit's indwelling to transform us. He also says in this passage today, how long is it going to take God to free us from the unhealthy habit of thinking only about ourselves? We must get to the point of being sick to death of ourselves until there is no longer any surprise at anything God might tell us about ourselves. If one thing has happened during these last couple of years with the pandemic and all that brought to us, how that changed our world, how that changed our culture, changed our lives and how we go about doing things, it really caused us to find things to entertain ourselves, right? I'll speak for myself. It's what it made me do. I looked for things to enjoy since I couldn't go here and go do that. And, there were restrictions. There was times we were just supposed to stay in, or if you could go outside and enjoy the outdoors, but you weren't to go into populated areas. Our normal, many of the normal things of our life were interrupted, and we had to find things to just simply entertain ourselves. And, you have an interest, guess what? You can find a YouTuber who's been making lots of videos about your interest, about your hobby, about whatever it might be. Someone is making some pretty good quality videos about this interest of yours. So he said, though, how long is it going to take God to free us from the unhealthy habit of thinking only about ourselves? We are meant, you and I are meant to be thinking about others. Why is that? Well, because we are made in God's image, the scriptures say. And why are we made in His image? We're made in His image to glorify Him, to point people to Him. That's hard to do when I'm in a room by myself watching YouTube or doing some other form of entertainment that is very self-centered. So the way, though, and the purpose for my life and your life as a follower of Jesus, if you are a follower of Jesus, our purpose is to reflect Him. And so therefore, that means we need to break out of this unhealthy habit of just thinking about self and to truly think about others and to connect and interact with others. Why? Because that's just what we do as God's ambassadors. We interact with other people. We connect with them. We point people to Him. So, wanted to encourage you, as I was encouraged today with what I read, get outside, connect with people, and do this for His glory. Have a good week.